How's it going, family? One thing is we live in a reality where the system within system, and in every way, every facet has system within system. But you know, even at the base of the physical and the abstract is mind. And that's what actualizes everything. I don't know if I'm speaking about it correctly right now, but I I think that what's to be said. At the core of one thing I do know is that we're fully well. In additionally, I know that we are fully seen by Him. We're the totality of everything is fully localized. I believe that we live in an extension of His mind. That we may live in an extension of His mind. And I don't know if you'd call it, I don't know if you'd call it like a feedback loop. I can't think about it right now. I guess I don't have the capacity to think about it right now. But, I think I think everything that we can experience, and even deeper recesses than that, I think are exposed to Him. I think are visible to Him. And there's a beauty in that vulnerability, family. Because He's our Creator that handed out our very lives. And, I think I say an extension of His mind, because I don't think we could live in His mind, because this is a fallen realm. In different ways we live in His mind, though, because everything is a construct or a structure or framework from His mind. My friend brought this to light when me made that, likened it to us living in His mind in that respect. But I think we'll come more and more to this. God actually showed it to me through a devil. A brother that's probably couldn't argue the reality of things, and the reality of things being consciousness being unattainable by any means. You can have a infinite number of points, I'm saying, in any arrangement that could attain the consciousness, of any substance. You can't attain that. You cannot attain a consciousness, a self-aware entity. That's in the sense that we have life. But the thing is he probably couldn't argue it. So, following the necessity of things, everything that we observe is surface, even the smallest increment of, even the smallest component of reality, it's it's on top of mind, and you can't, I think it will follow. I think you can't, consciousness can't be produced. And how it's integrated, but it can't be produced. So I think that we'll find that, we'll find uniformity through everything through it. Just like you can find through, just like it can be represented, through, and maybe actualized through a singular structure that is a waveform, just like what manifests, in our brains. And a specificity can be found to represent, anything through that. But then, in family, we cannot. There's necessity of one, not a collective with every self-existent constituent that's, individual entity that's us. We're separated off life, family. I don't even know if that could be understood or explained, family. God breathed life into us. Thousands of years ago, it said that God spoke, and he created everything. And there's different things created or that are contained just in that. You think about it, and in a voice, there's vibration, frequency, and energy, and then information within that. But then you also look at speaking, and it's an extension of mind, which you also look through that. The thing is, breathing and speaking, that's a human function. But, I think it serves to understand things. And I think that everything will be able to be interpreted. It's very plain. It's a very complex thing, but it has a very simple syntax. But our God's everything, family. And one thing is at the core of everything is that we are fully seen, and we have sufficiency. For the spectrum of us, from the top down, from the bottom up. That we have enough in us to come to Him. We have enough awareness. No matter how the complexity of our minds, we sense Him in a certain sense. We are aware of the reality of things enough to displace and toward Him and not away from Him, and not to envelop ourselves in a certain paradigm, that effectively attempts to separate us from Him. No matter what paradigm, you will find that it is impossible by, no matter what medium you find, no matter from what angle you approach things, you will find that it takes infinite input. Everything, one system is impossible, but you take every system within system, and the multifaceted complexity of everything, family, and the integration of everything, it's by infinite. You say maximal, and you say that, infinite can't be actualized. But I say there's perfection in that can be actualized. And what he called was good. And there's perfection that can be actualized. And within perfection, infinite can be realized. The thing is everything will be uncovered. And even the devils, family, even the brothers and sisters that choose to be devils, God doesn't create devils. Devils create themselves. But brothers and sisters that choose to use their God-given discernment and intellect for evil, even that will be used as momentum against themselves, against the force that they serve. A devil revealed, insight to me. And, a devil that is a brother. He's not a brother. He doesn't, he doesn't have the same God. He serves the God of this world, the God that actualized this realm. And that's Satan. That's his, invariably, if you're not under God, you're under Satan. Especially holds, family, when you have knowledge of God and you reject his face. And his face is the word that we were given, family. But, yeah, God moved me to him, and I'm going to use, everything that's, my lens and my scope is set on. I'm going to interpret it correctly and use it against darkness in every way that I can, and not necessarily against the individuals. Because if I'm against brothers and sisters, well, not brothers and sisters, those that are in the darkness, I'm hesitant to call them brothers and sisters, but because they are a force for evil. And you say how wittingly, but my true enemy is, and what I'm truly working against, family, is evil itself. Because brothers, same created, can come out of the darkness too. And that's the idea. We're not working for once in the light. They're not a matter. In fact, we work as one. We work as a singular entity. That's why we're called the body. No matter what movement, it's impossible to construe, to decipher the, calculate the movement of the totality of us. But one thing is, we are effective and sufficient. And the movement of one of us within an environment isn't impossible to calculate. That's when I go out with every heart that I'm placed in front of, family, and the little bit of influence that I have. It's, there's a billion paths, but there's one way, and the one way is discernible. And I don't know their paths, and I don't know what's between them and God, but I know that what I place in front of them is the truth.